CMLH on the track, boys.
Mi gente, mi gente, mi gente, saludos, buenas noches. I'm El Buntador Segundo. I'm here with El Jefe, Mikey. Say hi, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
There we go. And bienvenidos a los Lobos de Lucha Libre, the weekly Biconic show where we talk about CMLL's Viernes Espectacular. I do want to just open the show by saying if you are out there using your observing your constitutional right to protest, stay safe out there. All right. So here we go. We are here to talk about the Viernes Espectacular from last week. That was Junio 6 or June 6th. It was a pretty good show. As always, our primo on the streets, Agent Lo-Fi. Buenos. Good to see you. Good to see you. But yes, so the June 6th, 2025 episode of CMLL Viernes Espectacular. It was a pretty good show. Not gonna lie, pretty good show. We start off with a mano a mano de uno caída for one fall. This was actually a little bit of school war. Where we had Blue Shark from the Escuela Poblana facing off against Troglodita de la Escuela Gomez Palacio. Can I get a fact check on that, please? And thank you. So this was our ref was Tigre Infante and his crazy counting styles. We had a really solid match from these youngsters. Not gonna lie. And we got in the end we did have a Blue Shark pulling out the win. So triunfo técnico in this one. But yeah, I thought it was a really solid showing for these newcomers as we can refer to them. El Jefe, dígame, what'd you think?
So I really enjoyed the fact that we got to revisit what we fell in love with during the Torneo de Escuelas like a couple months ago, which actually wasn't a couple months ago. It was actually probably a lot sooner than that, but it felt like a long time ago. We watch a lot of wrestling here. No, but I really enjoyed this revisit. I mean, I enjoyed this one-on-one. We got the two different schools involved in all this. I like Blue Shark. Blue Shark is cool, but I have to agree with Agent Lo-Fi too. Like, since the Torneo de Escuelas, like Throw Lodita is very unique in his offensive style, but I also really enjoy his look and what he kind of brings in terms of the presentation of everything. I thought this was a really good match, and I'm actually hoping that this becomes a regular thing where they start pulling the kids from the schools that participated in the Torneo, and kind of just have them open up the show for CMLL every single week, whether it's on Viernes Espectacular or any other of the multiple shows that CMLL has. I really enjoyed this one. I was like, this is why I enjoyed the Torneo de Escuela that we got a couple months ago, or quicker than that. This was just a lot of fun for me. This is a really solid way to open the show.
Yeah. And I felt that it was a very traditional representation of Blue Shark being the technical, being very high flying, and Troglodita being the rudo and being very, very physical with his wrestling. So, but yeah, this was a very solid match. Good way to start the show. And as I said, a triunfo Blue Shark. Hang on one second. A little technical difficulty. Boop. Okay, we're good. All right. Moving on. Next, we had our first Relevo Australiano for the night, where we had La Fuerza Poblana of Stigma, Shelhua, and Arcales versus our Rudo team of Okamura, Yutani, who I believe are going by Los Demonios Orientales, and Infarto to round out our Rudo team. So in this matchup, we had for our first fall, Infarto submitted Stigma for Triunfo Rudo. Then the second fall went to the Técnicos, where Chihuahua pinned Yutani and Stigma pinned Okamura. And then in our last fall, we had Okamura pinning Stigma for the Triunfo Rudo. So the match went to the Rudo team. A great build from the first match. I mean, anytime we have La Fuerza Poblana up, we're going to be getting a lot of great high flying. Anytime you see Okamura, Yutani, and Infarto, you're going to get some great work going on. This was a really good match all around. A great second match. El Jefe, what do you think?
I really enjoyed this one, of course, since covering CMLL and since its introduction not too long ago. Again, like Agent Lo-Fi, because he knows his stuff, I've really become a huge fan of Utani. But I also have to agree with him here too. When Utani and Zuela got into it one-on-one, I was like, please give it to me like right now. I'm here for it. Also, as the elder statesman in this match, to a certain extent, it was really interesting for me and probably for you, depending. Now that we're reviewing it, it's a very different energy that Okamura is carrying with himself now, especially after what happened at MLW War Chamber.
Yep.
And more detail when I do the noticias, but Cozy Max is no more.
Yep.
It was very interesting. Again, the War Chamber happened afterwards, but even still, it's just a whole different vibe. And looking at where we were to what we got at War Chamber was kind of crazy too. So I'm here for all of this. I really, really am. Honestly, I also got to give it to, our, I guess if you want to call them the technical team of Stigma, Jueza, and Arcalis. I thought they did really, really good. And this is they're slowly starting to get more time on Viernes Espectacular, and I'm actually really enjoying them. But Yeah, I'm biased. Utani is my new dude. I love him. He's great. Give me more of everybody involved here.
Yeah, I definitely want to just shout out Schwaha and his that twist on the Tijera that he did, where it wasn't like a full wraparound; it was just like a twist, and it brought the person down. I thought that was really cool. I'm sure it's been done before, but he pulled it off, and it just looked buttery smooth when he did it. So I just had to shout that out. Next was our Amazonas match, which was a title defense for the Campeonato Mundial Femenil de Parajes de CMLL. We had the champions, Juvia and La Jarochita, facing off against Zoxys and Dark Silueta. We had Juvia and La Jarochita, Las Chicas Indonables, versus Zoxys and Dark Silueta, Los Infernales. This was set up last week when they had their Relevo Australiano match. We have Las Chicas Indonables retaining their belts. Felt it was a solid defense. El Jefe, what do you think?
Okay. So I want to first off by stating that I love these four, right? I love all four of these Amazonas. And I think individually and in their respective teams, they are very, very good. With that being said, by the end of it, I got into the match, but I feel that the first third of this match for me personally, and again, this is just me, I'm not speaking for my other constituent here, I felt like it took a little bit for them to kind of get to figure out, are we on the same page? Are they good? The chemistry was kind of off for the first third of this match for me, but then they picked it up and then it got into what a championship match is supposed to feel like. By the end of this, I ended up enjoying this, but I will say for me personally, it did take a little bit to get into, but that's because there was either miscommunication or they were still trying to figure out how they wanted to go and how hard they wanted to go. But once they kind of got over that hurdle towards the second and the third, trifecta of this whole entire match, I think they did bring it home. So that's just my thoughts, though.
Yeah. My only critique, if you will, of this match is I felt that they needed a little bit more time. I felt that this match kind of got shortened, if you will, especially being a championship match with these two, because I mean, Zoxys and Dark Silueta are champions in their I forgot what belt they have, but they do have tag team belts as well. So I felt like it deserved a little bit more gravitas, a little bit more time than it got. Match wise, though, I was fine with it. We got a lot of the hard hits. We got a lot of Juvia and La Jarochita flying. So yeah, Agent Lo-Fi. This match was pretty good. Once again, the women in general have been stepping up. Yeah, definitely. Again, I personally just wish that they had a little bit more time to cook,
right.
If you
also,
will.
Pointing this out too, because I can't wait to watch this. Sorry, distracted by Beast Mortos Bandito and AEW right now. I'm like, yo, that match looks like it's gonna slap. I cannot wait to watch it after this.
Yes, sir. Next, we have our another Relevo Australiano Increíble, where we had the Rudo team of Templario, Barbaro Cabenario, and El Valiente versus the Rudo team of Titan, Magnus, and Rugido. Well, let me tell you, mi gente, this is how it started out. So we saw very, very raw side of Templario. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for that. Not gonna lie, wasn't prepared. But
But
so
I didn't. Funny enough, I didn't find it surprising though, because of the fact that we're building to Fantastica Mania, which we are seeing United Empire versus LFI de Japón. So very interesting.
yeah, but like Templario he was raw, like riggedy raw. I mean, yikes. But yeah, so in our first fall, the Los Depredadores end up pinning Barbaro Cavernario and Valiente for the first win. Our second fall went Rugido pins Valiente and Templario pins Magnus. And then Titan pins Templario with some help from Kemalito. Nope, I apologize. For the third fall, sorry, because it flip flopped. So Titan went to pin Templario. Kemalito saves Templario. Templario goes to pin Titan. Magnus pulls Templario. Titan low blows Templario. And we finally get a Titan pinning Templario after this back and forth. So the team of Rugido, Magnus, and Titan end up with the win. Let's talk about the match first before we talk about the fallout afterwards. Really quick, Agent Lo-Fi. This was fun enough for it was, but yeah, I'm ready for Titan Templario. That's right. Yep. Jefe.
I mean, there's nothing much more to add that you already didn't say. I really enjoyed this match. I also was at first I was like, yo, Templario is kind of aggro, and I'm kind of here for it, not gonna lie. But then I was like, well, we are building to Fantastica Mania, which before we get there between the faction on faction warfare, as Agent Lo-Fi lovingly said, yeah, that Titan Templario match, when we get it, is going to rule so much. But as far as this match goes, it was very, very fun. Again, Magnus and Rugido being very heavily utilized within the last couple of weeks / month or two. And of course, anytime Templario, Cavernario, and Valiente are on my screen, I'm like, yes, give me more. This was really, really solid. And in fact, this ended up being in no particular order, but this did end up in my top 2 matches of the episode of Viernes Espectacular. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, so again, seeing Templario so aggro kind of caught me off guard. I mean, we know that he can do that. It just like him, and especially single out Titan. And again, I know it's because of Fantastica Mania coming up, and we're gonna get Los Ingonables versus United Empire. I get it, but I am so used to seeing them as respective technicals that seeing them like this is weird. I felt El Valiente, Barbo Cavernario, and Magnus and Rugido. They did add some fun and some flair to this, especially at that end. And of course, Kemalito buzzing around, causing trouble too, as he does, was really cool. It was also cool to see Templario and Kemalito back together again, because when Soberano Jr. had come back, Kemalito went back to Soberano Jr. and Templario caught feelings. So, but we'll talk about that for now. So, so your team of Titan, Magnus, and Rugido end up with the win. At the end, we get a lot of back and forth between Templario and Titan. We have Templario challenging Titan for a Máscara contra Máscara match. They acknowledge that at Fantastica Mania that they are, that they are gonna meet. And we have something set up for this upcoming Friday. Not to jump the shark, but we are going to be getting a mano a mano of Templario Titan this upcoming Friday, which is going to be awesome. There we go.
Also, one more thing from Agent Lo-Fi. One thing for sure is that Titan Templario are incapable of not having a banger. They are so good with each other.
Yeah.
Which is very true.
Facts. But I do hope maybe for the Aniversario show that we get that Máscara contra Máscara match. I think that would be very, very interesting. But we'll see what happens down the line with those two. So, do you like what you're seeing? Do you like the wrestling? Do you like what you're seeing and you like the wrestling? Then please find us on the interwebs. We are the BC podcast, the Biconics podcast, and you can find us all over the internets. We are on Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Twitch, which you're probably watching us on one of these platforms. We are also on the Blue Sky there. We have brand new merch, which has been shouted out in the comments over bcwrestlepodspring.fourthwall.com. We have our new hot boy summer.
Yes, we have the Hot Boy Summer Collection, where it is whether you are having a beach day or at poolside, you can rock your favorite luchadors everywhere with our little mascot for Hot Boy Summer. But also
right.
we also dropped our Pride collection, which is titled "We Grapple with Pride," and this is a special collection just in time, not just for Pride Month in 2025, but it will be staying up for until we feel like we can no longer go forward as BC WrestlePod. But the most important thing from this collection is that proceeds from the We Grapple with Pride collection will be donated to charity, and that charity that BC WrestlePod has selected to support is Point of Pride, which is a charity organization in which it offers assistance and overall health and financial security in terms of those health-related things for trans health and gender-affirming care. Especially in the world of 2025, especially here in the United States, it is more important than ever that we take care of our neighbors of marginalized communities, whether they be persons of colors, other marginalized groups, and our LGBTQIA 2+ community. That 2 is for the two-spirited individuals of our Native American population too. So that is my soapbox TED Talk moment for the episode. Carry on.
And also, like, if you want to, throw us a little bit to, help us out. I am out of coffee, so you buy us a coffee. You can join our
coffee, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, going off of third wind here. It's rough. It's rough over here, kids. Anyway, upcoming this week, we still have some shows upcoming this week. So tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have our GCW Tournament of Survival 10 and Cage of Survival 4 review. That'll be with El Jefe, Andrew, and that other hack that you have, although for the nerdy Puerto Rican. He's a hack.
Be nice to him, man. Oh my goodness.
Hack. On Friday the 13th of June, we have the TNA Against All Odds PLE review. On Sunday, on Sunday the 15th, I didn't even change that. Look at that.
It's okay. So I got you. So
we have our on Sunday we have our WWE review at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard
Time. A little
bit
of a schedule change real quick is that we are going back to our regular time for TNA starting this Friday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and there will be a miniature review from myself this Saturday for House of Glory's Wrestling. Mike Santana presents Puerto Rican Weekend 2025. I cannot wait to talk about that. But also, favorite match, don't care, fight me.
Oh yeah. Yep. So moving on with the show and Relevo Sencillo, Dos de Tres Caídas, we have Atlantis and Blue Panther versus Ultimo Guerrero and Gran Guerrero. So in this one, on our first fall, we have Triunfo Rudos with Ultimo Guerrero and Gran Guerrero getting a crazy submission hold on our elder statesman luchadors. That was nuts, to be honest. Like, especially for their age, I was like, man, they are very stretchable for their age. But at any rate, our second fall went to our technicals, so we had a Triunfo technical, and then in our third one, went to the technical. So the match went to the technical team of Atlantis. Blue Panther. Come on. Need we say more? Atlantis and Blue Panther. Hefe.
This is my favorite match. I don't care. This was so good. No, but in all seriousness, again, when you combine all four of these men and how long they've been wrestling, like we're spanning decades and centuries at this point, possibly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This made me and my heart very happy to see. Again, I talk about this and we talk about this all the time. You know, we're coming up to a year of CMLL, and for us three who are just kind of still dipping our toes in and learning more and more each time we review CMLL, is the fact that this is one of the few, if not the only promotion where ageism doesn't exist really in the wrestling, and that even our elder statesmen can show up and show out against their younger up and comers as well. And I think that's also a testament to how these wrestlers are trained and how they, you know, wrestle in the wrestling schools out there, and then just everything that goes with it, right? So this made my heart happy because, again, this was just a masterclass of what years and decades and centuries of experience together look like when you put everybody involved in this match together. Also, Agent Lo-Fi, 100% right here. If you didn't know how good this match would be, then you don't watch enough Lucha, which is very true. And also, yes, raise the roof.
Yep. Guerrero Laguneros, raise the roof.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Atlantis and Blue Panther are elder statesmen. Not to say that Ultimo and Gran Guerrero are by any means like less veteran, if you will. I mean, they have a collective, I think, 60 years experience on that side. I still love watching Gran Guerrero get launched and do that splash. Both when they're outside of the ring, and then when he has a full head of steam and gets to launch himself from the ramp. It's so good. And I think, call me kooky, call me crazy, but I think we saw Blue Panther going up to the top turnbuckle and pulling off some moves we haven't seen him pull off before, which was really cool to see. So yeah, it was a great match. This was definitely my match of the night. Good feels in this one, which brings us to our main event, where we had our technical team of Místico, Atlantis Jr., and Esfinge versus Hechicero, Volador Jr., and Ángel de Oro in a relevo australiano, best 2 out of 3 falls. I need to flip the page, turn the page. So our first pinfall went to the Rulos. Our second went to the Technicals, where Esfinge pins Hechicero, and our third went to the Technicals. So the match was a Triunfo Technicos. Dare I say it was a standard Viernes Espectacular feel good ending.
Send the crowd home happy type of match.
Send the crowd. Yep.
So,
to quote Primo, Agent Lo-Fi, send the crowd home happy. Send the crowd home happy.
Send the crowd home happy. I really enjoyed this match. This is a fun one. You know, this was a proper main event, and I thought this was just fun. But again, it was just fun. It was nothing too crazy. I don't want to say it's paint by numbers because it sounded like I didn't enjoy it, but this is a very standard main event for Viernes Espectacular. But it was a lot of fun, though. I still enjoyed myself, of course. I think one of my my 2 biggest highlights is also, first is this graphic of Volador Jr., and I don't know if it's because of my screen, but it also looks like he's wearing red contacts. I was like, he's evil.
I'm telling you, it's Dark Volador Jr., man. He's got the mustache and everything. It's mirror universe Volador Jr.
And the second thing that was probably my highlight of this entire match too is I just like watching Esfinge throw himself from everywhere and anywhere as possible. That big boy go flying, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't look it, man. He doesn't look it, but golly, can he fly with the best of them? And
Absolutely.
also, it was fun seeing him wrapping up Ichisetto.
Yes.
In some crazy. I mean, it's his pinning combination, but seeing it thrown on Ichisetto, who we are so used to, wrapping the other people up, being the alchemist of the ring. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, like I personally feel, this is a great testament to, you don't need every main event to be like this outstanding, like atom bomb of a main event. It was a fun main event. The crowd was into it. Everyone went home happy. Good solid wrestling. Boom.
And Age of Lo-Fi kind of coming in too. It just goes to show how high the bar is for your big standard CMLL match. It's saying how good they are right now. Yeah. CMLL is killing the game, and I'm so happy to be reviewing it.
Yep. So that was it for this episode of Viernes Espectacular. So what's coming up this upcoming Viernes? Well, let me tell you, we are going to be starting off the show with Amazonas action, La Jarochita and Kira versus Persephone and Zoxis. Then we are going to be having Angel de Oro y Niebla Roja, the Hermanos Chavez, versus Magnus and Rugido, Los Depredadores. Maybe a little, it's not for belts, but, maybe we're setting up a little belt for belt action there. It'd be pretty cool. We have an international match, Relampago, where we have a returning Robbie X facing off against Hechicero. We saw Robbie X was in Mexico last year, and he's back. Hopefully, this means that we'll be seeing him in Fantastica Mania as well. En evento especial in relevos, we have Volador Jr. y Rocky Romero. So we have the Papa and El Hijo versus Zandakan Jr. and Defunto, right? The hype is real on that one. Zandakan Jr. Coming off of his fresh win of the Junior VIP tournament. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Then a mano Templario versus Titan.
Yes. I'm
hyped. Yep. Dare I say part one? We're gonna have
give me a trilogy now
rounds on this one. And in our main event in Relevos Atómicos, we got a 4 versus 4. Místico, Máscara Dorada, Neon, Atlantis Jr. versus Ultimo Guerrero, Averno, Euphoria, and Gran Guerrero.
That is a stacked lineup. Not even going
that front. Is a stacked lineup. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Very excited. And now for news, noticias.
We're going to get official music for Noticias now. It's going to be great. Dropping in on the hottest mixtape of the summer coming near you. But I do have a bit of news in terms of Noticias for this week, because literally all next week it's loaded for CMLL stuff, because we are officially entering Grand Slam Mexico week next week. It's crazy. We're finally here. El Puntador. Like, oh my gosh. But I do want to go in order, because there was a lot of things that happened this past week and a lot of things to expect this coming week for CMLL related stuff. First and foremost, I do want to start out something that happened this past weekend. MLW had their latest show, War Chamber. And the reason that I bring this up is because we did have some CMLL talent involved in this. We had a tag team match between Cozy Max, which is Mr. Kojima and Okamura, teaming up to go up against Dark Panther and Blue Panther Jr. The craziest thing to happen was not Dark Panther and Blue Panther winning. They won. But the craziest part is that we saw the breakup of Cozy Max
I
Cozy-
don't like it. I don't like it when dad and dad are arguing and fighting.
Daddy and
I
Daddy are
don't like it.
fighting.
I don't like it. No,
So
sir.
Cozy Max is no more, which is kind of crazy to say.
No,
But we'll
sir.
see for how long. But that is something that was CMLL related from this past weekend. But now,
And also, we had
Yeah, go for
a very interesting backstage spot with Rugido and Magnus confronting El Presidente
Cesar
about
Duran.
about getting a match at the next event. So,
Ooh, more on that a little bit later because we're gonna
oh,
talk about that one. But this is gonna be the main part of it because now we get into everything leading into Grand Slam Mexico. So tonight, I literally just watched this before getting on for this review. I got a chance to watch the first half of AEW's Summer Blockbuster 4-hour special. And in the first half, we got to see Místico return to AEW in the ring. Místico had a very fun but quick match against Blake Christian of Ring of Honor and GCW fame. But the important thing is, well, the match was fun, but everything that was important comes afterwards because through an exchange of words between the two of them, we get an official graphic made where next week at Grand Slam Mexico, it is going to be what he's dubbing himself, not me, the American MJF versus Místico. It was a very fun back and forth that these two had. Místico said some not so fun things in Spanish, which was really fun for me to hear, but I will not repeat them because I do not want us to get demonetized. But it was great. So this was the first official match made. And then when we get into the breakdown of this upcoming week, we technically might have 2 more. No official graphics yet, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. But this is what I was mentioning. Lord have mercy. Next week is about to be on and popping. Like for reals. We have so many things going on. CMLL is going to be on our screens almost the whole entire week, which is going to be a lot of fun. So let's break it down. There are 3 events, and let's just break everything down that we have. So first thing that is happening is this upcoming Tuesday, June 17th, is the CMLL versus AEW and Ring of Honor show. I am going to be excited for this. Agent Lo-Fi, I see it, and we're going to talk about it too because the Twitter also let me know as well. And I also have a possible third, but we'll see. But just to remind you, we do have the full card for this show, and we're going to quickly review it right here. So on the CMLL versus AEW ROH show on Tuesday, June 17th, we are getting Persephone versus Red Velvet. For the CMLL World Tag Team Championships, we have our brothers Angel de Oro and Niebla Roja defending against The Crew, which is Action Andretti and Leo Rush. We are getting Hologram versus Neon. We are getting Atlantis Jr. versus the walking weapon himself, Josh Alexander. We are also getting what I'm expecting to be a very fun match. We are getting Hechicero, Ultimo Guerrero, and Averno taking on the Don Callis family of Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and La Papa, Rocky Azucar Romero.
now, I thought Edgy said it was part of the Don Callis family. What happened with that?
We are on CMLL time. This is not Grand Slam Mexico. So,
Fair.
Yeah, so it is all about CMLL honor. Yes, Hechicero is part of the Don Callis family, kind of, but it is CMLL pride that is on the line. So we got rep for this. And then finally, we are getting Máscara Dorada versus our Ring of Honor World Champion, Bandido. So I am excited for this. Then the following evening on Wednesday, June 18th, is Grand Slam Mexico, which is AEW and CMLL. As mentioned before, we are getting MJF versus Místico. But on top of that, we are getting... this is going to be fun too. So we're also getting 2 more matches with no official graphics. Agent Lo-Fi definitely telling us the news as well as the Twitterverse. But we are getting, for the CMLL Women's World Championship, it is going to be Zuxis defending the title against Mercedes Moné. And also breaking news, too, that Gran Guerrero and Euphoria have joined the Don Callis family as well. So this is really getting crazy out here, y'all. Yeah, so now I'm excited to watch the second half of freaking Summer Blockbuster. But while there's no official graphic, during the second half, which is still currently airing right now on television, we had a big old brawl that is supposedly setting up a 5-on-5. Ooh, no, here we go. Correcting me, thank you, Agent Lo-Fi. They're going to be on Team CMLL, which is crazy. Oh my
Wow.
goodness, this is buck wild. But
Wow.
because of a brawl that happened between the CMLL talent and AEW talent, it seems that we are setting up for a 5-on-5 multi-man tag team match for Grand Slam Mexico. It is going to be a Técnico versus Rudo team. On the Técnico side, you have Atlantis Jr., Templario, Bandito, Adam Cole, baby, and my baby daddy, who I will fight Adolfo to the death for, Brody King. That is a stacked team.
Yo. Oh, wow.
Oh, but get this. Here is, and going up against the Rudo team. So it's Atlantis Jr., Templario, Bandito, Adam Cole, and Brody King versus FTR, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, and Hechicero.
Wow.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Brody and Arena Mexico just like is right for my fantasy, not gonna lie.
Wow.
So that match is gonna slap as well. This is gonna be fantastic. But don't touch that dial because we got even more goodness happening right after this. But I wanna talk about this picture really quickly. Yes. And you might be wondering to yourself, what is Thunder Rosa and Persephone doing together in this picture? Well, while we still don't have a card, because we're going to be in Mexico for the whole entire week, it was recently announced a couple days ago that we are getting the second iteration this year of Ring of Honor Global Wars, but this is Global Wars Mexico. So Thunder Rosa and Persephone will be teaming up at Global Wars Mexico. Their match is yet to be determined and announced, but I'm like, this makes sense, and I'm here for this tag team, not even gonna lie.
Right? Right?
It's so good.
I'm excited. Yo, and if Persephone comes out with Thunder Rosa like face paint as well, dead.
10 out of 10. Win.
Dead.
We win as wrestling fans. So
Yes.
Global Wars is happening for ROH. More information on that as it comes out later. But then we finish off a crazy week in Arena Mexico with Fantastica Mania Mexico 2025, which is going to see CMLL, New Japan, AEW, ROH, Rev Pro, and our New Japan Strong brand. And let's just go over these matches because this is wild. So, for Fantastica Mania, which we're going to be doing a live watch along or for it on Friday, June 20th. It's going to be fun. We are getting Kira versus Red Velvet, La Jarochita versus Thunder Rosa. We're getting the team of Difunto, Magnus, Rugido, and Zandokan Jr. versus Leo Rush, Action Andretti, La Papa, Rocky Romero, and Rev Pro's Robbie X.
The Primos are arguing.
Yeah. So we are also getting Ultimo Guerrero versus our currently, and who knows after Dominion this Sunday, our IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion, Yota Tsuji.
Yeah, I'm excited for that match. Excited for that match.
I am, and I'm also excited for this match as well because we are getting faction on faction warfare in New Japan. So it is Los Ingobernables de Japón being represented by Japón. Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, and Titan taking on the United Empire, which is going to be represented by Francesco Akira, TJP, and Templario. We are also getting Volador Jr. versus Ricochet, which has me excited. And then for the CMLL World Trios Champions, a little bit of an update to this. It is Sky Team, which is Místico, Máscara Dorada, and Neon, defending against Bandito, Hologram, and a mystery opponent because, as we learned on AEW, is that Commander is unfortunately injured.
No.
So we don't know who is going to replace him and all this stuff, which sucks. So the trios main event may or may not change. We'll see. Luchadors are definitely built different. So we shall see what happens with all of that.
Will Ospreay. Make it happen, Tony Khan. Will Ospreay.
I hope so, but again, it depends on visa travel issues, and if people are here on working visas, like the rules for all of that are a little bit weird. I would love to see Will in Arena Mexico, but who knows? Yeah. But finally, to kind of close things out, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, what happened at War Chamber at Summer of the Beast for MLW. Los Depredadores will be defending their MLW World Tag Team titles against a mystery team that we won't know until Summer of the Beast later this month.
Very interesting.
Yes, and that has been the noticias for the evening. That was a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
No. Yeah, we will be well fed this upcoming week.
Yes, we will be.
Which doubt.
Yeah, which I'll talk about that at the end because I got a special announcement here for that.
Okay. Well, I mean, make it because we're at the end. So
that is very true. So, I'm super excited for all the shows next week. We are going to be watching them, but then the following week, I'm even more excited because we are having our own, for all intents and purposes, we are having our own Fantastica Mania / Worlds Collide because so everything that I just said is happening. All the shows are happening. We're doing a live watch along on Fantastica Mania on the 20th, which has me excited. But on Tuesday, June 24th, we are having a very large-scale review of Grand Slam Mexico, as well as the CMLL versus AEW ROH Tuesday show we're getting the day before on the 17th. And the reason that I say it's a big one is because we are having both the All Elite Ensemble team, who review AEW, and the Los Lobos de la Lucha team colliding in a 5-person review. So it is going to be Team AEW of JVL and The Professor, and representing Team CMLL, it is, of course, El Buntador del Segundo here, as well as Papa Oso. And then I will be the Rocky Romero in this situation because I will be the bridge between the two teams. But I am really excited. This is something that we've been working on for weeks now, and even to a certain extent, months, so to speak. And I'm super excited for all 5 of us to get together to review this big all stuff. Yeah. You going up against Tuesday CMLL, bold move. Listen, we got to risk it for the biscuit here. This is a lot. Grand Slam Mexico might become a yearly thing, but I want to make sure this is going to be a lot of fun with the 5 of us, but also it allows all of us an opportunity because we don't really get to work with each other that often outside of our own shows. I have to remember I get to work with everyone because I'm on every single show, but it's going to be a lot of fun to get personalities that we don't normally get here. It's going to be chaotic AF, and I'm here for it. So mark it in your calendars, Tuesday, June 24th, a big old review of Grand Slam Mexico and the Tuesday AEW and ROH versus CMLL show. So bring us home, El Buntador Segundo.
And that's it, mi gente. Again, if you're out on those streets, please be safe. Just remember that you're biconic. I'm biconic. We're all biconic, and you deserve to finish your story. And after those emotional words, I am doing this outro like this.
Let's get out of here. Johnny TV style. Sebastian! You're in the shot, you bald idiot! You fool! The other way! Go! Go!
Me tiene loco en la cabeza cuando me tocas. Siento que todo está bien, pero en verdad